Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. It is King of Fighters 15 trailer breakdown time, and this week we have the sexy secret agent, Vanessa. So as always here, we're going to break down the trailer in full, but also tell you a little bit about what the character is about. So let's start with that. So the first thing to mention here is one of the things I always find fascinating about the character Vanessa is she's in her 30s. Now, that doesn't really sound like much, right? Like on paper, well, who cares? In her 30s, whatever, right? But by fighting game standards for women, in her 30s makes her, like, positively ancient. Almost all lady fighting game characters are like 18 to 25, and that is it, right? So having a character in her 30s, and she also has a kid as well, I just find that refreshing, right? And she was made specifically with that in mind because they realized, like, we have too many high school characters. We need some older characters in the series, so she was made with that in mind. Maybe not the biggest deal, right? But it's always been a huge double standard in fighting games. Men can be any age you can think of, right? But women are always, like, younger. So a character in their 30s is appreciated. Now, you probably gathered just by seeing the trailer in the background, she is definitely a boxer, and she is a masterclass boxer and has the combination of both speed and power. Her power is so much that a lot of her attacks, she has to like shake her hands like, ow, that hurt me. That is how strong she hits. As for what is Vanessa's job, well, she is a secret agent. She's a mercenary, and she's like so deep undercover, her husband and her kid have no idea what she actually does, right? As far as they know, she's just going to the office or something, but she takes on all these secret agent jobs. And that's how she originally gets wound up into King of Fighters, as specifically it's a job. And no, this one's not about Orochi. She only shows up once Orochi's already gone. So Orochi gets to take the break for this one, but she shows up during the Ness Saga. And oh my god, the Ness Saga is such a... it's such a thing. There's more clones in the Ness Saga than the Clone Wars, I swear to god. So she's brought in to observe the Ness cartel, except the person who brought her in to observe the Ness cartel, it was her boss, but it wasn't her boss because it was a guy from Ness who was impersonating her boss, and it's a whole thing. The Ness Saga is pretty much the most convoluted of all the sagas in the King of Fighters series, to say the least. As far as her teams go, she switches teams a fair bit, although her goal is always just, mercenary work, secret agent work, right? In King of Fighters 2000, she's on the K-Dash team. King of Fighters 2001, she's on the Iori team. And then we get a bunch of different versions of the Agents team. And this time around, she's still part of the Agents team, and it'll be herself, Blue Mary, and Luong. Now, Blue Mary makes sense. Sure, she's been on the Agents team before. Luong, I guess we'll have to wait and see how that's going to go, but at least she's free from the clutches of the evil Gang Il. Now, as for her gameplay style, she's a little trickier than most in King of Fighters. So, as a boxer, like, hey, well, it's all self-apparent, right? She does a lot of punching. In fact, the only kicks she has are specifically her CD attacks when you hit both the heavies together. Her stand and jumping CD, those are the only times you'll see her kick. After that, everything else is punches. And you're going to see a lot of them. Once again, she's just a pure boxer style character. All of her specials are about punches one way or another. And she just goes berserk on them. Also, to note, since the 15 version is based off of the 14 version of the character, Vanessa's juggle potential is basically the highest in the game. And in King of Fighters 14, she has like more practical touch of death combos than just about anybody else. We'll see if that remains in 15, but just keep that in mind. If you like TODs, Vanessa's well known for them. Now, one of the trickier things about Vanessa is she has two effective stances. The weave stance, where she's just kind of just jiving around everywhere, and her dashing stances. And they go into and out of each other, so you can weave into a dash and dash into a weave. And both the dash and the weave have unique moves only in those forms. So if you want to have the full concept of Vanessa in mind, you're going to have to learn how to go into one, into the other, and use all the special moves in both the dash and the weave together. So that can be a little bit of a handful to just wrap around your head. So difficulty-wise, she's on the harder end of things compared to most other characters. Although if you truly like the character, you'll put in the time because she is a rewarding character to learn for sure. Now, onto the stage. So it's a new stage. We haven't seen this before, so this is almost certainly the secret agent stage. Maybe Southtown at night? Who knows? But yeah, so we have Vanessa here, and this is one of the triumphs, I keep saying this, of the King of Fighters 15 graphical just take on the game, is this is the same model from 14. yet due to like rendering passes, lighting, shading, all that kind of stuff, she looks infinitely better than the 14 version of the character. Now on to the trailer proper. The first thing we open up with is normals, of course. So this is stand heavy punch, 2 hits by the way. Jumping heavy kick, all of her kicks are punches except for CDs, that's jump CD. And this will be standing CD. So those are only 2 kicks, everything else is our punches. EX machine gun puncher, it's a lot of punches with a launch, which you can juggle afterward, very good for juggles. And after this we have EX dash puncher, which will slide under a lot of stuff here, and also this is good for juggles as well. EX parry puncher, which juggles as well, lots of juggles. Here we can see down, forward, and light kick. That's a sliding punch. And this is forward light punch. This is a double hitting overhead, so we must block that standing. Here they're showcasing that the EX version of the dash or command dash has some invulnerability. This may be like a round wind pose animation. And from here, the EX parry punch again. Now, you may have wondered why it was called the parry punch. Well, now you got a good idea because it basically gives her an active guard point to work with. And if you dunk the enemy, once again, it causes a juggle state, so free combo. And here we have jump heavy punch and side switches into the auto combo. Now I know what you're thinking, auto combos, don't freak out. This is not like Dragon Ball Fighters or something. Auto combos are purely for people who just want to mash and don't want to learn the game. They don't dominate the game in any way, shape, or form. From there, we go into a level 2 version of our Crazy Puncher Super, and, well, she's punching you pretty crazily, I guess, so as advertised. And right here, the big final hit, and then, my hands, they hurt so much. That's the price she has to pay for being able to deliver knockout blows that can knock out people like Chang or Goro, right? So some of the moves, she just said like, my hands hurt so bad. Next, we have a return here of the mysterious focus attack style of attack, armored and crumples the enemy, and from there you get combos. From the machine gun punch, this is a level 1 version of the Crazy Puncher. So before you saw the level 2 version, this is the level 1 version, and either way, still, geez, my hands are sore. Combo here, so crouch light kick, stand light punch, forward light punch, the command normal, and then we have EX parry punch, juggle, into an EX dash punch, and she could still follow up here, although they just choose not to, I guess. And here we enter max mode. This is close heavy punch into machine gun punch, into a level 1 crazy punch. Once again, we've seen this before. And once it's about to end here, we're gonna cancel into a level 2 champion puncher, which you can see here is more punches, but in a different style. And she'll do her little bit of a weave in this while they're dizzy as well. And then on the final hit, we climax cancel into our level 3. And we saw the level 3 earlier in the video when we're showing the KOF 14 version here. They'll cut it a little bit short here. But yeah, so that's the thing. And once again, only the blue max, because this would normally be a 6-bar combo, makes this possible. And here we are, a proper win pose. There's Vanessa looking pretty as you please. And that's the Vanessa trailer. So as it stands, it's interesting stuff. She basically seems to be more like the 14 version of herself, although being able to EX on demand, all that should be pretty interesting, especially considering parry punch and her command dash. Like the parry punch has guard point, command dash has invulnerability, right? These things are available on demand, and that is not how that worked in KOF 14. So it should definitely work to her benefit, because those are defensive options, and she didn't really have those on demand in 14, right? So it'll be interesting. Some of the things, I guess, the secret agent thing, the big question, like, Vanessa's a secret agent, Blue Mary's a detective. Those two make sense, sure. Luong's the real question, I guess, and it'll be answered in time, I'm sure, one way or the other. And there's no Ness anymore, well, until there is, right? So, like many other characters, a lot of the Ness characters have been revived, thanks to Verse in King of Fighters 14, because all of the dead characters are coming back, right? So perhaps the secret agent team is back to see what's going on with Ness again, or Orochi, who knows? Maybe she can double task on this one, do Ness and Orochi. I guess we'll have to wait on see on that one, because the plot has a very massive chance to go absolutely insane with all the dead people coming back. So we'll have to wait and see. But overall, very happy with what I'm seeing here. Once again, she just looks so much better than the 14 version, even if it is the same model, because they've really figured out their art style, and it's really working out for them, and I'm very happy to see how she and many other characters are turning out. But that all said, my friends, I guess that's the end of the trailer breakdown, so thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some King of Fighters.
Just your love making